Young Bay is Bay. And Team
He
Dignitas, an
is
old
Bay.
name in Smite. I think that they're going to do it for Odie here in the third, fourth place matchup. But Lenny Conspiracy has looked a little streaky today. They've had some dominant games, some teams they got dominated in. But
well, they got dominated in one game, right?
Yeah,
Like one game was just like really, really bad.
Fair enough. But Dignitas has banned out Thor. On the side of London Conspiracy, it's going to be Arachne gone, another jungler and assassin gone from Team Dignitas. Different set of bans that we've seen so far today mostly, but it is Circuit removed as well. London Conspiracy, are they going to ban Shibalanke against Young Bay? They will indeed.
Yeah, they don't want to deal with that.
They're not about that life. What is the first pick from Team Dignitas?
Could be
Athena?
It could be Athena.
Athena
could
or
be
Poseidon?
Nemesis.
Nemesis.
Nemesis is always a go-to, but again, we're seeing a priority going with Cupid, which
The baby.
I think it's over prioritizing him. Especially when you have him going against an Athena, and then Osiris is going to be locked in as well.
Yeah, big AoE lockdown comp coming out of London Conspiracy. Very powerful first two picks, but it does tip their hand to their solo lane pretty early. But Osiris, not a lot of fantastic counters against this god, with the exception of perhaps Ao Kwang. I think that's a great matchup for him as well as Nemesis. Both of them do exceptionally well coming out of the jungle fighting Osiris. But what will we see? If I'm Dignitas here, I may reach down and what about a Nemesis Zhang Kui pick from them here?
Nemesis Zhang Kui. Zhang Kui right now kind of feels like
message.
Zhang Kui shows me that you're waiting more for like 3 or 4 items for him to be done, and I think he's more of a solo laner than he is a mid laner from what I've seen so far. But Sun Wukong and Poseidon is definitely an interesting one. So Sun Wukong, like as much as I want him to excel, mainly just because I look just like him, but like
That's true. You could be brothers.
he's just got a single target lockdown, which doesn't have great synergy, but with the Cupid and the Poseidon together, the single target might benefit him a little bit. But you don't get that feeling that you get when you have a Sylvanas or a Geb Cataclysm come in.
You're definitely not worried about dying in the Sun Wukong lane.
No.
You know, like maybe it's going to be
Not
a
at
little
all.
annoying. Maybe you have to play a little more passive than you would have hoped to because of Jingle Bang Harass, but it's pretty hard for him to set up the kills now that Master's Will, that circle attack just slows, no longer knock up. Also, it makes his matchups against channeled abilities a little bit weaker, but Athena, not in possession of any of those, is going to be just fine.
And it could still be the Athena's still on the table, which is oh no, never mind.
No,
Sorry.
no, she's not.
Yeah.
But bans come through. Nemesis
It's like, the
removed by
Athena's still on
London
the table.
Conspiracy. Awelish is banned out by Team Dignitas.
Don't call her that.
Which is
Felix.
curious because there's no knockups on the side of London Conspiracy. I mean, maybe they think that they're going to go for a
The bats.
Vamana or something, but
That's the pick.
hungry bots, yeah.
Hungry bots. I mean, with the nerf that happened to beads, we see Hunbats goes very, very well. And when you look at this, Athena, what's going to happen here, my bet is that London Conspiracy will probably take this game solely because Athena's going to come in. She's going to hit a taunt after 12 minutes, which everyone's is going to be because of the combination that you're going to have with Isis. Then in comes Fear No Evil from Hunbats. The team set up there is fantastic.
Well, on the side of Team Dignitas, to deal with the AoE setup, they're going to go for a Bakasura, which, well, it doesn't do that, and neither does this one.
Whoa,
it's
whoa.
Bakasura Fenrir to close out the draft for Dignitas. Greedy, if nothing else, but they're going to have a hard time dealing with the AoE team comp. It's Cupid Poseidon going to have to do a lot of work, and Bakasura is going to have to make it happen in the 3-4 seconds that his ultimate is active, or these team fights are going to be very one-sided. London Conspiracy, will they go all-out AoE comp? No, their hard carry in this is going to be an Uller.
This is a Fenrir jungle, right?
Yes, most likely.
I mean, Baka hasn't been in the jungle besides in like
And
casual play.
Bakasura makes a heck of a lot more sense against Osiris than a Fenrir does to me. But so Fenrir jungle, yeah, you know, a lot of synergy with Poseidon, the old kind of like 1-2 cheese combo, like big pub stomp kind of setup.
I fetched for you.
It's like when you and your like 13-year-old brother like play. You're like, I'm gonna play Poseidon, younger brother, you play Fenrir, and just bring them to me and feed me kills, right? So little brother Fenrir. Not Ataraxia's little brother here.
No. But this is more like APC and Dan.
Yeah, that's right. There you go.
Dan
that's
playing
a great way to put
Fenrir,
it.
kind of
Yeah.
bringing APC the food at all times.
That's right. And Poseidon, well, he's got to clean it up. And well, the Poseidon is going to be manned by none other than Shadow Nightmare here in the mid lane, formerly of Team Fnatic. Let's go ahead and introduce your squads, ladies and gentlemen. The blue squad fighting out of the bottom side of the minimap and the left side of your spectator UI. They are returning to Smite, now in their native region, sponsored by Team Dignitas. It's well, Team Dignitas. Frostyak's going to be your Fenrir. Young Bay is going to be in the duo lane matchup with Frezzo this time around. As
God,
Cupid and Sun Wukong. Variety is your solo lane, Bakasura. And mid lane is Shadow Nightmare.
He's got to stop with these team changes, or the name changes.
It was Frezzy, now it's Frezzo.
He's got to. He just needs to be Frez.
The Frez. Well, their
Frez.
opponents today, London Conspiracy, captained by Suntouch. It's going to be Emilzy and Shaggy Shank in the dual lane as Athena and Uller. That puts Snakeskin. It's been a pretty good day for him in the soul lane. Second time today is Osiris. Red Fu is going to be your Hunbots jungler. Red Fu still waiting for that impact. Not been a playmaker so far, but playing a playmaking god now in Hunbots. And finally, Suntouch in the mid lane as Isis.
We might see an invade coming out of Team Dig here. They do have the Bakasura, which if he goes with the Eat minion off the beginning, they're going to be okay. This is the old start coming out for London Conspiracy, though. This is like, oh, yeah, we're set up for Harpies. Oh, wait, no, they're not there. 3 minutes. They're looking to make this invade happen. If they get this, this is going to be astronomical for them. They do have the Athena taunt. Eyes on her. You're going to have to follow the synergy here up with the Suntouch. Here it comes.
And in they come. The taunt. Not there. The camp gets, well, reset, but picked up by London Conspiracy. Suntouch with the second hog able to... Well, he doesn't use the hog, but he does find the buff. Frezzy doesn't have his slow available. That could be a good Spirit Ball. Yes, and it's going to be enough to stop Frezzy in his tracks. I believe the stun was used by Shaggy Shank there as well, looking at his mana pool. But overall here, it's a fairly decent start for London Conspiracy to secure the red buff for their mid laner. And, well, they're perfectly happy to go to lane. London Conspiracy just a bit behind them.
Yeah, they don't have the purple buff yet either, and they have to contest that wave. So now you're going to see London Conspiracy go back, grab that purple buff, and now they're going to be able to not miss a wave at all. So Team Dig has to decide when they're going to go for that, and they have to be very, very careful.
Bakasura stole the blue on the top right side of the map, so invades all around. Dignitas getting a blue buff, and now the second pickup here. Oh, that's a big stun coming out. Red Fu's going to take a bit of damage for his trouble as well. And as you mentioned, yeah, purple buff still standing for Team Dignitas. And
it's going to be tough for them to
Sun
get.
Wukong Cupid, they just don't have a lot of clear to really go and get that. And you can see they're forced to play aggressive, try to push the lane up and go back for their buff. And that started the rotation from Isis, but leaping away are Young Bae and Red Frezu. They not going to be feast for the bird just yet.
Yeah, that's a big enough win. So in that scenario, Team Dig is trying to look to kind of shove that wave all the way at the tower, so then London Conspiracy is like, okay, I have to get this wave, and then they go get the purple. But since the mid laner went ahead and rotated, they can't have that still.
That's right, and now you can see the Athena pressuring forward from London Conspiracy. Emilzy and Shaggy Shank have definitely looked to be in sync. It's a 4-man rotation from London Conspiracy. It's a big commitment here, and they're going to go for it. I mean, there's no way the Team Dignitas fights into this.
No, there's no way. I mean, even if Poseidon comes and rotates, they're not going to be there in time, and they would rather just shove this wave. I mean, 4 people
It's a
collapsing.
big investment, though.
It's huge.
For a buff that may not do it, and well, you can see Shadow Nightmare and Frosty setting something up, but there's no crack in here. Here comes the damage. It's a double stun coming out, and there's a Whirlpool as well. Bees force out on Isis. That's the target, but they don't get any real follow-up damage, immediately bailing out of there. And without level 5, I mean, if there's a crack in there, it's a completely different story.
Yeah, crack in there, that's death everywhere. And that's... I'm pretty sure Poseidon went and split those back camps as well. You can see Variety's kind of lingering on the side. Red Food's got to be careful. He does have a jump, but Suntouch does not. They don't have the follow-up. Oh, God, no. Frostic, you got to get the kill, man. Good job.
He gets it. He's going to brutalize away, but leap before is the monkey. There's the slow. Did not get the crit on his first hit. There's a crack in it. There's a dead monkey. A Shadow Nightmare over the wall. Finds himself a nice kill. 2-for-0 trade in favor of Team Dignitas. They're off to a nice start.
Yep, Snakeskin does have the tether down. Variety's going to be able to jump away. He's going to hit him with the sickle and just kind of be like, okay, I'll take the damage. They'll live with that, and now the Harpies are going to be up. Snakeskin could be in a precarious situation, but it looks like he might be able to get this as Bakasura is just going to come in and actually hands it and takes it from him. So Team Dignitas with a slight advantage.
Bakasura just so scary to fight against at any point in the game, really.
Especially level 5.
Yeah, level 5 may be the scariest point. But he's very dependent on getting that first kill, and hasn't picked it up just yet. Has Variety. Does have 2 assists to his credit, though, which is quite nice for him, but I was going to have a hard time locking down Osiris, the Lord of the Afterlife, Elite Psycho Crusher. Of course, being an ultimate, he can use it even when crippled, so it makes him CC immune to activate that ability. So it's going to be a little tough for Bakasura to find this kill, but it's going to be a big one if he does get it, and well, with Fenrir here, I doubt they're going to go in. Frostic doesn't have that ultimate to bring Osiris back, but Variety still looking for that kill. Overall, Team Dignitas, they've built themselves a little bit of a lead here 4 minutes in with their first 2 kills. 1,300 experience, 900 gold to their credit. And with the mid camps going down, It's going to be a little while before London Conspiracy has a great opportunity to make this deficit back up in terms of pure farm. They're going to have to make some plays around the map to overtake Dignitas now until about maybe minute 7.
One thing that should not go unsaid is the fact that Frostiak is a full level ahead of everyone in the game. He's been just about everywhere. Suntouch is going to get forced out here. You can see Athena's coming in as well. Frostiak sees that and he's like, nope, don't want to fight this. Here comes a Kraken. Kraken's going to take out one. Will they continue to pursue is the question. Frostiak does have the Brutalize. He's going to get taunted out of this. Shadow Nightmare doesn't have the follow-up, but he's going to make sure they force all the way back. Meanwhile, Bakasura in the boxing match. Snakeskin, he's going to turn and just try to do some damage, but they lost that battle.
Humbot's ultimate used defensively there, and that's not how you want your first Humbot's ultimate of the game to go. Used to bail out, no real follow-up from that fight, and they're going to lose their orange buff in the process as well. That one going to go to Variety, and he's perfectly happy to hold that. Blue buff was taken, however, on the top right side, so secured, it looks like, for Snakeskin. Lucky guy there. Finally gets a hold of his blue buff. Should help his laning out a bit. Blue up as well, but orange buff sitting on top of the Bakasura means he doesn't get that for a bit. Mid lane here, you see Shadow Nightmare now with a kill. I'm sorry, 2 kills to his name and an assist. Been involved in all 3 kills. He's pulling ahead of Suntouch, who's going to have a bit of a difficult time now. Emilzy takes a stun, but does secure the buff for his Uller as well. So things still nice and happy over in the dual lane, at least for London Conspiracy for now.
Dude, look how much money Osiris.
Oh, it did get stolen. I'm sorry. It was snatched.
It got
they
stolen?
just left it on the ground.
Gotcha. Look how much money has been invested by Snakeskin in actives. He's spent like 1,200 gold on a teleport already. He doesn't have boots. He just has a death toll and a tier 1 of Runeforge. Like, I mean, yes, he has mobility, but that's a lot of money in actives early.
Yeah, it is. And what's curious here is that usually common wisdom is that you basically have to have a sprint versus Bakasura unless you're planning on man-fighting him in his ultimate. And Osiris is getting away with his teleport to towers because he has that ultimate that allows him to leap out of the Bakasura cripple. So it's still a little bit risky, though. I mean, you saw how effective Bakasura was diving all the way to the tier 2 versus the Osiris, who traditionally is really, really good at extending engagements.
Well, Shadow Nightmare is just going to go and throw one Whirlpool out and just try to deter him just a bit. The ultimate's there. There's the Kraken. Kraken's doing a lot. There's the Tidal Surge as well. And does he have the Trident? Frostiak's got the 1. They take out Athena. There goes the global presence.
There's
but he's
a
not
nice
done.
follow-up stun there. It's going to take about 3 hits. He doesn't have the Brutalize available. We saw him secure the kill with that in the last engagement, but Red Fu just hasn't brought it.
He hasn't brought it today.
No.
Yeah, I think both of us can agree that it's been very underwhelming jungle presence. Even though London Conspiracy has pulled out and they've gotten to this point, it's just when you have the Hunbats, I mean, you're looking for a lot of engagements. I mean, you look across the way, and you got Bakasura with beads. You got, like, that's it. Like, he needs to be very active. Like,
yeah,
very active.
Well, all things told here, Dignitas holding a nice advantage going into the kind of second spawn of the gold of mid camps. They do force the fights there. They find the kill into the Athena, and now Frostiak's gotten himself another kill, putting him even further ahead of Redfu, who just now hits 8. Frostiak about halfway to 9. It's a tough spot for London Conspiracy, but it's not all over yet. First
not even
Fury
close.
has yet to fall. It's definitely eligible to be started by either team now. Hog 3 is not up on either side as far as I can tell, though. So there's an opportunity here for London Conspiracy to maybe sneak that early Hog 3 in and find themselves a kill, but it's not likely, as Athena's still sitting at rank 1 here and isn't in a great position to go back either. Forced to hold the lane now as it was making its way back. Do you think Dignitas has enough momentum here to deal? Oh, no, mid lane. This could be the first kill.
That's the play.
Oh, but Kraken use. They're not going to get much out of it. He's not going to have that when he respawns. Could be a Gold Fury opportunity, but Athena, she just ported in. Did she go back and pick up Hog 3? She did not. So
she didn't.
She ported from the left side lane. It's going to be a tough, really try at that point then. So they're going to make their way to the left side lane and just try to bully and fight a 3v3 here. But
they got it.
Oh, wow. Frostiak definitely wasn't expecting that much. Takes a lot of damage, but able to retreat now. That Cupid ultimate did work. Gets stunned out, and a lot of damage from the Uller as well. The burst is really big from London Conspiracy here. Youngbae going to try to make it away, and he does not. Suntouch's ultimate cleans him up with the instant activation. Moving forward is the Uller. He's not going to find the stun, as taking to the skies is Sun Wukong. Falling back now is LC. You see that decoy raging forward as Sun Wukong looks to clear the wave out, but the burst, my goodness, coming out from the Shaggy Shank and Sun Touch combination. Right on the mark there for LC.
And this is what was scary. You originally asked the question, does Dignitas have enough momentum? The problem that Dignitas is going to face is the inevitability of London Conspiracy having Athena taunt coming in hot at level 12, and at that same time, Jotun's being finished on Hunbat, so he's going to be flying in after the beads have been popped, and that's where you're going to see him be very dangerous. Or they're going to not use the beads on the taunt and just accept that damage, and then even still, they're going to have to deal with it. Like, that's what's so scary now about the Athena and Hunbat's combo.
Well, it's been a very kind of low number of kills game, 4-2 here at about 10 minutes in. And that, I think, is to the benefit so far of London Conspiracy. Granted, they're down by quite a bit, but this isn't a really high kill match. It's a little bit slow pace, and Uller, Isis, and Hunbots, and Osiris, they all scale really well compared to Team Dignitas that is a little more mid-game focused. Sun Wukong not bringing too much to the table late game. Frostyak starts falling off as an in-hander, hard for him to close distance. Variety, same kind of thing. You know, Poseidon's a little bit of a one-shot pony later in the game. So it's a little bit to their credit. This is a slow-paced game, but the advantage is still here from Dignitas, and this can very quickly turn into a big advantage if they get a couple of key kills. And
that's one.
And there's one key kill onto Sun Touch. No follow-up there. Can they secure the Athena as well? They can't for now. Trying to run away is going to be Sun Wukong. He's going to make
Brilliant.
it. Getting beat up inside of that whirlpool. The burst is there, and Frostyak takes that kill to his
That was
credit.
perfect. That's exactly what you're looking to do. I mean, Red Fu with the Hunbats, he didn't have Fear No Evil up. He used that in his last engagement. It's a very, very long cooldown, and because of that, he almost turned it, but you could just see, I mean, he doesn't have beads. Fenrir's going to make him pay for that, and it's just so smart to just let him stay in the whirlpool and just eat tridents to the face.
Yeah, that was...
No one's surviving.
That's the trident damage really coming through there. Look how good of a job Shadow Nightmare's doing it, not hitting a Mealsy and continuing to do damage to the tower. But now taunted back in's going to take at least one more shot. No, but will get out in time to avoid a second. And Poseidon barely eking out that one with his run speed. They did pull Variety to help back that up. You can see the Bakasura sitting just off to the right side of the mid lane. But he's recalling, and it's a reset. Team Dignitas now 6 kills to 2 after that last engagement.
And looking at it, I mean, no team's even considered the Gold Fury so far. You surprised by that part?
A little bit, yeah. But, you know, it's mostly, I think, a factor of Team Dignitas being up and having a Sun Wukong support. Not great as a tank. It does have his Hog 3 now, though. And they can definitely make a play for it. But London Conspiracy
Speak of the devil.
Started up as they have a 5-man rotation over here. Isis ultimate activated. In comes the Athena as well. The burst is real, and down it goes. No response from Team Dignitas.
That's huge.
Ay. London Conspiracy, they draw this
That's
game even.
Yeah, I mean, the experience is very, very different. I mean, 2,800 is a lot. I mean, Smite is a game about levels, not necessarily about gold as much in the early game stages, but that's fair. That's a great play. I mean, Isis has kind of found her spot, I think, amongst the pros. Last season, I wasn't convinced on her. I think a lot of people have a good idea of how to play her, but I never felt like Circle of Protection was used to the fullest.
Well, even still, she's still only 1-3, right? So it's not like this game is going maybe as well as Sun Touch would have hoped, but nice use of the ultimate there. They take a very, very fast Gold Fury, but they're going to lose a tier 1 for it. On the right side, they lose their tier 1 to Variety. Mid lane, they're going to lose a tier 1 as well as the continued group from Team Dignitas recoups that gold from the Gold Fury, but there's still a lot of towers remaining on the map. London Conspiracy, there's a lot of gold remaining for them to pick up if they do get ahead just a bit, which is a little bit dangerous, right? You want to be ahead in farm from gold out of the map, not necessarily only towers. Although they are the early game team, so we'd be worried if they didn't have a couple towers at this point. But that first Gold Fury is going to hurt Team Dignitas quite a bit, as this lead could have been very easily around 7K now, but now it's still hovering at about 2.
Yeah, I love the Hasten Fatalis pickup on the Bakasura. Now, when I first started playing out on Bakasura, I was told, you wanted this, but hold the phone here. Frostyak's going to go ahead and push in. He's got the Brutalize on. That's a huge Fear No Evil. Kraken comes in. Kraken's got 1. He's got 2. Can he get 3? He's going to jump over. That is a triple kill for Shadow Nightmare. It was set up perfectly. They were all grouped. They committed as well. That's a
Call it a Quadra. As Red Fu, I think,
Jesus.
dies to minions running away. Getting credit is the Poseidon. That's a
play.
competitive Quadra kill. You don't see a lot of those.
That's the play, right? But it was so funny, right? Like, they did everything I said would be strong about the Hunbats, and then they all committed right in there, and they didn't see Shadow Nightmare's rotation, and he made them all pay.
Yeah, they just a little bit behind in the levels. Not enough base damage to deal with the base HP. It's a level 16 Poseidon. Next highest on the side of London Conspiracy is 13. Sun Touch absolutely dominated in this lane with those early deaths. Behind 4 levels, Bakasura up a level as well. Fenrir up 2 levels on his counterpart. and only Shaggy Shank really doing that well on the side of London Conspiracy this game. After that fight, a lot of experience going the way of Poseidon, and it's starting to turn heavily in favor of Team Dignitas at 10,000 player damage on the side of this Poseidon. Good God Almighty.
Yeah, that's a tier 2 down on the right as well. I mean, this is going to be very, very hard for Snakeskin to kind of get in there. He's invested a lot of money into teleport, and looking at it, he has he has 2 wards that he can teleport to, but they're in his own jungle, which will only take him about 20 seconds to get to from his fountain. He can't use this teleport to its full advantage. That is a problem.
It's like you talked about, right? Like last game we saw SunTouch miss a lot of his Krakens through basically this period of the game, but then hit like the 2 that really mattered. Will Shadow Nightmare be the inverse of that, or will he keep this performance up the entire game? At this rate, it looks like he's gonna have no problem.
It's because he's playing Dreadbeard, man. Dreadbeard is the skin. It's way better than Poseidon. But that's a tough call. That's a tough call.
Whoa.
I like Pirates, man. Just like Sobek's skin, the alligator, goes in.
Up mid lane here. Frostek's going to go in, but it's going to be immediately beads away. And once again, this game, Shadow Nightmare's gone first item.
That is a big shark.
So you were wondering why that you would go first item Spear of the Magus last game. That's it right there. True damage.
Yeah.
Right? Even with only the...
It shreds mages is down.
With only the lost artifact, you don't scale magical damage per level. So you have basically the same amount of magical damage or magical protection, at level 1 that you do at level 20. And the Spear of the Magus means it's true damage, and Poseidon from ahead, big base damage coming out of that whirlpool. It's very similar to...
They committed hard.
It's an old style build, but it's still really, really strong. And now cutting around the Osiris, he's going to force the Osiris to run out of the whirlpool there. He's going to take the what for from the Cupid on Young Bay.
Rip.
Nom 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 nom. Variety gobbles up Redfoo, who's just way behind. I mean, no one can fight that Bakasura right now.
No.
16. With his Fatalis and his Ick-File, it's time to run away, and it's time for Team Dignitas to flex their muscles. And look at this. I mean, they're fighting between the tier 2 and tier 1. I guess they're doing that as they call it.
Yeah. Well, what's huge, too, I mean, Bakasura, when he has Regurgitate when he comes online with this build, no one's escaping.
Well, no one's fighting either. Ick-File going to be wrecking anyone's physical power. It's going to be Osiris really even has to run, which is tough. And
SunTouch is in a lot of trouble here.
That's a lot of true damage, and the Aegis is going to be used. That's not enough, Sunny. Down you go. Frezzo getting credit for that kill, and dashing away is the Athena. So the Athena ultimate used as well as dropping your Isis, which is a tremendous amount of your wave clear. Gold Fury back up in 10 seconds, and that's got to be where Team Dignitas is looking next.
I think this is the showing we all wanted to see out of Dignitas during the show match as well. But now that we're seeing it here, it even feels better as Shadow Nightmare gets an easy kill on Emilzy, dude. Poseidon is just causing havoc everywhere. This is why he's strong. It's 16 minutes, and you're just seeing why he's destroying
Snakeskin taking deep into the tower here. Do you have this follow-up stun, Fenrir? No, there's the Brutalize. He's going to get stunned out by the tether. He beads it. He gets now the follow-up stun on the Osiris. But now what do, Fenrir? That's the question.
he's getting body blocked. He's got it.
Another Brutalize will do it, and Snakeskin to fall. Frostiak finding a kill. That's 3 members down, looking to be a 4th.
Look at that!
Yes.
Look at that! That's what I was talking about.
So 4 members of London Conspiracy die kind of back to back to back. 2 members down, then SunTouch and Emilzy, followed by Snakeskin, Redfoo. At the front of the line is Frezzy. You can see Sun Wukong not really that great as a tank, but he is highly mobile. He kind of just zones him out for a bit, and he's going to walk over and casually hog this Gold Fury. And there it is. No, they're not. They're going to save it because Fire Giant is available.
Yeah, Fire Giant's available.
And they were no pressure. Smart.
And London Conspiracy's dying 1 by 1. I mean, they're going to have no problem. All they have to do is worry about Athena. And no one else has any real steal potential on this team. I mean, yeah, Snakeskin possibly, but he's only got hand 1, so they only have to worry about Athena, and she's level 11.
Right, yeah, she's really low. And the real danger here is not that she can't do enough damage or she can't stay alive long enough in the team fights. It's mostly just that when she gets piled on by 3 or 4 members, she's not going to stay alive long enough to have her team bail her out, especially not with no second active, just the Hog 3, desperately trying to get the Sovereignty. It's going to be very hard for her to survive, and they can bully the Athena out and take the Fire Giant pretty easily here. You can see Team Dignitas grouping is 5. They're going to send their Sun Wukong. No, they're not. They're not worried about this split push then coming out by Shaggy Shank on the left side. They're going to just take the Fire Giant instead, it looks like here. That's the call, at least. Will they go through with it?
Well, I mean, Bakasura is committing to it. Fenrir is going to be the one zoning. He jumped in on him hard.
Double stun.
He should have the double stun. He's going to bring him in there and right into the Kraken.
There you go.
Go fetch, baby. And
I mean, that was free, right? Like I said, no second active on the Athena. So when Frostiak picks her up, she can't get out of it, and that's an easy kill. Now no Hog 3 available. Team Dignitas gets a free Fire Giant. Granted, Ullr's going to take a tier 2, but it's a fine trade for them. Cupid, Fields of Love, drop down defensively there. They're going to try to pick up Snakeskin. Fight still going on. Humbot's ultimate has come out. They do get a return kill on the Young Beta.
Got one.
A sloppy fight from Team Dignitas. They split up there. Definitely not what they were looking for, but they do chase down Snakeskin. They put their two most, kind of...
Dude, this is bad. That's the support. You can't die to this Suntouch.
And Jingu Bang, not even needed. Masters Will cleans it up. Suntouch overstaying his welcome. And yeah, you're right. That's just not what you're looking for.
He got 1v1'd, and I mean, you're looking at
1v1. Well, I mean, to be fair, Frezzy is equal level with him.
And he has Fire Giant.
And he has Fire Giant. He doesn't have no damage items, but
yeah.
Isis, no, not really bringing much to the table. Kratos Pendant Spear of the Magus. Granted, she hits fairly hard, fairly often, but there, you can see just what a little bit of tanking items can do for you, plus some nice base damage on your abilities in that Sun Wukong, which is really why you pick him, is that right there. He like, not really any other tank or available tank besides maybe Kraken can take that fight and come even close. Red Fu absolutely obliterated. Shadow Nightmare can do whatever he wants.
Yeah. And I mean, you can just see the Trident. The Trident is just destroying for him. He popped his sprint too. This is going to be a call just to kind of get out of there. They're going to go for this tier 2 on the left side, which is the play. Looking at the player damage, 18,000 for Poseidon. This is the dream of Poseidon, is everything lines up, and before 20 minutes, you are 12-1.
Variety's going to get stunned out by the Snakeskin here. Frostyak dies a Shaggy Shank on the left side, trying for another kind of swag play on that.
Yep. Well, the red buff, they're going to take the red buff, which is good. This is going to work out for him just fine, as they're going to clear up the entire jungle, which is going to just delay London Conspiracy from even having a possibility of coming back in. Athena, Ultimate Defender of the Olympus, coming down. They might look to fight this, but I don't know if they're going to be able to get anything out of it. Hunbats has been very underwhelmed this entire game. He's 1-7.
Yeah, just the one Aegis is really not helping London Conspiracy out. And that's a problem for them. And it's the Hand of the Gods pick up on Osiris, right? Prevents him from getting it, which makes sense. But the Sun Wukong electing for beads instead is maybe a little bit suspect. Granted, it's kind of a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation. You have you really need the Aegis to deal with Poseidon, but you really need the beads to deal with Fenrir. It's a nice draft from Dignitas overall.
Wow, Variety went in.
Variety,
he's got the regurgitate.
He's not scared, but he should have been scared. He doesn't get much going, but this is a really, really nicely placed ultimate stack coming out from Team Dignitas. They beads away the Hunbot's ultimate, and they just continue surging forward. That Fields of Love on top of the Kraken just did wonders for them. Snakeskin, they're going to try to chase him down. Maybe you should take a look at the tower first. No, oh, you ain't getting out of that one, buddy.
Dude, that's
the Spear of the Magus, stacking up the pen, and then that Trident did about 600 damage, it looked like. That's just that one Trident out of Shadow Nightmare. Level 20, Fire Giant buff. He's a big boy.
What kind of a game is this, man? He's got a quadra kill. He's got a triple kill. This is the stuff you get in casuals. This isn't the stuff you do against competitive players, my God.
Well, here comes the push into the base. Poseidon is level 15. 15 kills. He's looking for his 16th kill now. Emilzy playing a little bit aggressive here, considering how big this Poseidon is. Will he get the Whirlpool? He will, but he will go down and not find a kill for himself. So a little bit of a throw at the fountain there for Team Dignitas. I'm sorry, at the Phoenix. They're maybe going to get chased down here as well. Frezzy, when is the... No, Bird. Bird's back up, and away he goes. It's going to be the Ox knocking up Red Fu. And out he is, and away he goes. But Frostyak's a bit unchecked in the mid lane here, looking desperately to get this Phoenix. Is not going to clean up just yet. Yes, they will, as the Bouncing Monkey finds him. So, yeah, as I mentioned, just giving away a little bit more than they had to with that Phoenix, but they get a lot out of that push, and Gold Fury back up shortly. Fire Giant doing work for the boys of Team Dignitas.
Dignitas, their Fenrir has not only a Spirit Robe, but they also have a Shifter Shield on him. So he is going to be very, very tanky, and he's going to be able to do a decent amount of damage as well. They're going to have to really focus on getting the peel off from there. But, like, how do you deal with a Fenrir jumping in? With a Baka? Like...
Well, traditionally you just stun it out, but it's mostly that kind of beads versus Aegis problem, right? The Poseidon's so far ahead that they really need Aegis bad, but they kind of all itemize beads to deal with Fenrir. It's still only a beads 1 on Ice. It's like, sometimes you got to get that beads 3 at this point. He's not going to get a damage item online at a relevant time now. It really just needs to maybe get an additional spell out by using the...
He actually just finished out his Aegis, too. He's really, really tired of dealing with the Kraken.
Well, you can see he really wants this lost artifact. He's trying to get Ratatouille out as fast as possible. But I think beads 3 just goes further here. I mean, that's obviously my personal opinion. Suntouch considerably better at Smite than I am. But
yeah, absolutely. But I
mean,
mean,
a tough position.
At least with the Aegis, he can throw down Circle of Protection, right? And then like Kraken comes, and then he just Aegises.
Well, the scary thing is just that if they force the beads out of him, they know he doesn't have beads for like what 4 minutes or 3 minutes. So that's really more, it's not even so much what the Beats 3 does as much as the window of opportunity it leaves as, well, in the mid lane here, or just off of, they try again for the Athena as they know Fire Giant's back up, but not enough damage this time out of the Kraken. It does force her back, but it's Athena at the end of the day. Fire Giant started up, and here we go. They're going to be able to burn this one down fairly quickly. Now about 40%, 30%, yeah, no contest. This bad boy's already going to go down. It's a nicely timed Hoodbot's ultimate. It can be taken at any point, but Beans get away as Frezzy, and he finds the kill. Now it's Suntouch. He's going to get burst heal by his ultimate. It's not enough. Down he goes. Emilzy in trouble as well. Piling on. Here comes the rest of Team Dignitas. They're going to run back. It's a nice split there by Emilzy to run back that way. Fenrir's not done yet. He's going to chase someone down. He'll get it easy. No, sorry, Variety cleans it up. Somehow Variety getting credit for that kill. Not sure how. Doesn't matter. Shaggy Shake down as well. Just Snake's getting alive, and he's being chased out by Frezzy. And it's a Sun Wukong, and Osiris just running from him. It's never a good game when that's happening. But Shadow Nightmare here to cut off the escape. Trident damage. Oh, look at the Trident damage. Moving forward with the Psychic Crusher is Snake's hit. But there's a Kraken, buddy. You got to run back our way, and down you go, too. The Tether only going to keep him alive for the moment. Continue to fight. But now does go down. Almost finding a kill for himself. Deicide as well. The Titan, he's been being beat on by Young Bay, who's trying to kite it a little bit. Titan to fall. And Team Dignitas will be taking the 3rd seed here.